So I was starting to do my makeup and I thought, hold on, I should show you the buff brush. I had to think of what I was saying. It is so stinking cold. I think my brain is frozen. It is -12 outside. So we got snow, all the things. I just got in. Our dog was outside. He didn't even want to stay outside for all that long, although he was enjoying the new snow that we got. Okay, so I have my contour on. I am using the Level 4 number 8 collection from Seint. This was a Black Friday steal, so a lot of people picked this palette up, not necessarily this level, but I already placed my contour. So the contour that I'm wearing right now is Astoria. That came with this one. Sandy is my foundation shade that matches me closest. Then I have June, and then I have Candlelit. So sometimes I use June as a brightener, sometimes I use Candlelit. Just kind of depends. But I'm going to go into the smaller side of this buff brush, and I'm going to do Candlelit today. So Candlelit is the lightest shade. So I've placed my contour on my forehead, cheekbone, and then underneath, I just took what was left on my brush and swiped it on there. So I'm going to go into the smaller side here and into Candlelit. I am tapping into this. Tapping is key. You don't want to scoop or sweep. You don't need a lot. Then I am going to stipple. Okay, a buff brush is going to give you more full coverage. I'm actually just going to go in between my brows because I don't need much coverage there. But I'm going to stipple in the area where there was nothing else. The contour shades do have coverage like a foundation, so you don't need to layer them, meaning you don't need to go over with your lighter shade and then on top go over with your contour. Your contour will have some coverage. Okay, so now I'm going to go a little on the outside corner of my eye. On the outside, you can see where I'm placing it. Just a little bit on the outside. I'm taking what's left on this brush and I'm going to put it on my lid, because I am going to put shadow on. So this can be technically a primer for you. You don't have to put it on your lid if you don't want to. If you tend to crease with cream on your lid, which I do, you want to make sure that you're setting it with either a translucent powder or go in with a powder shadow. If you don't crease and you like a cream shadow anyways, then leave it. Okay, so I'm going to take just a touch more. I'm going to go Cupid's bow, go along my nose, Cupid's bow, and then in the center. So what we're doing is we're taking this lighter shade and we're placing it in the middle of our face here because we want to create some brightness. We want to be nice and bright in the middle of our face. So now I'm going to flip to the other side of this brush and go into Sandy. This is my main shade. Okay, I'm going to flip. I had to adjust so you guys could see what I'm doing. So you can see I got a little low. Little John got low. With this contour. What I'm going to do now is take this big fat side of the buff brush, and since I want to clean this up and my pores are not really big down here, I'm going to still use this brush that's full coverage, but I'm going to sweep it. Okay, so now I'm going to start and I'm going to clean that contour up. Okay, what in the world is on my ear? Why is my ear? Oh, I bet it's from that. Okay, so I'm going to clean it up. Okay, you can even go a little higher if you feel like you need to. This is why I like to do the contour first, because you can clean that baby right on up. Can you hear the plows outside? Okay, now we're going to go over here and do the exact same thing. You are in control. You are in control when it comes to control of the contour and also cleaning it up. That's your responsibility. So actually, the nice thing, and honestly, when I saw people do this makeup before I even got started with Seint, I was like, what is this sorcery? But the greatest thing is that it's all cream. It's all cream. So you can truthfully go in, and I always call this like the magic eraser step. You can go in and clean up anything. So now I'm going to take, I am just dabbing a little bit, and I'm going to brush this along any area. Don't forget to get around your nose. A lot of women and men have redness around their nose. I'm going to just dab this, and I'm dabbing. It's important to remember we want to stipple and dab anywhere we have larger pores. Pores are a thing. We all have them. We just don't want to accentuate them, right? So you want to go in and you want to make sure you're using a darker shade. So that's why I'm going in where my cheeks have larger pores. I'm going in with bling, especially those areas where your pores are larger. In particular, it's my cheeks, okay? So we are pressing that makeup in. Can you see my pores? Yes, you can. Are they accentuated? No, they are not. If you are seeing that your pores are accentuated, you may be using too light of a color, or you need to stipple and press, okay? So you can see now I still have a little under my eyes that's not, don't forget to blend a little bit over here, a little under my eyes. I'm gonna go back in to this color and I'm gonna go into June. I'm gonna do a touch under my eyes, very, very little under here, okay? And I'm gonna press that in. And like I said, we don't want to get too light because then if you add too much of a light color, it will accentuate. So now I'm going to flip to the other side, which has a little bit of that other, whoops, let me zoom in a bit here. So I am going to go in, now that I did that, I think I got cut off, but I went to this other side that had some of that darker shade on there and I just pressed it in. You want to be mindful about how much you're using under your eyes. I have bags, I have wrinkles. We all have them. We all have them. We just don't want to accentuate. So that's when I went in, I first did on the outside and then I took a little bit and did on the inside and then just kind of pressed and blend those together. So now I'm going to go into the bronze and I always forget what this is, blush and bronze brush. So I'm going to go into the smaller side and I am just going to start blending. And really when you place it how I have placed it, you don't need to blend too much. But it still does not hurt to blend. You can do circular motions if you want. You can stipple, which is up and down, if you feel like you need to keep more. To the other side of this number 8 palette, I'm going to grab a little bit of this Bella Bronzer, a little bit. I like to put it kind of on top of anywhere I've really contoured because it'll warm it up a little bit. And honestly, since it's a snowy day and I'm going to be at home, I don't even think I'm going to put blush on. I might just leave the contour because it warms it up enough to make it look like you tried, right? And then I do like to add a very little bit because you can see my face is a little bit more tan than my neck. I need to do self-tan. I need to do a self-tanner. Does anybody else hate doing self-tanner? I feel like I am winded after I do it. Why is it such a workout? That makes me sound really out of shape. Which I am. It's fine. I still am doing my personal trainer. Yesterday I had a leg day and today I am feeling it. I'm scared for tomorrow. Day 3 is always the worst. Okay, so I'm going into my different palette because that one does not have eyeshadow. So I'm going to take my eyeshadow brush and I'm going to go into this color, Stay Golden. It is like a staple. I also am going to use my little moon ditty and just go over. I kind of focus right about the crease of my lid. This color is great because it is so, I mean, it adds a little dimension, but nothing where you're going to have to, you know, sit here and blend it out for a long time. Plus, this is really nice then because I have the cream on my lid so you can see where it's starting to crease. The powder sets it. Okay, so I did that over there. We'll do the same over here. I will also link this little half moon. I have used this jeez, that's a plow outside. I have used this darn thing way more than I thought I would. And it's, you just flip it. So go from this side to this side, vice versa, and it cleans right off. So I'll link that for you guys. So now I always get questions when I just do my everyday shadow. So typically I like to do a matte shadow all over, which I usually do chai. Bird is what I fill my eyebrows in with, but I also like to mix chai and bird on my lid. And then I do drift or Tawanda. So I'm going to just show you what drift is. Drift is a really pretty shimmery kind of shade. I like to put this on the inside corner of my lid, stopping about the center because it opens it up, and try to get a little bit above where your crease would be. You can take your ring finger and kind of blend where the two meet. Adds a little bit. It just opens your eyes so much more. So much more. So that is drift. I like to do just a little bit of a shimmer on the inside. So you could do a matte all over and then pop a little shimmer on the inside corner. Here we are. This is the finished look. So no blush, just some bronzer. It warms you up just a little bit. I look and feel good now. I realized I was saying, what was I saying? Chai. That is not chai. That is Stay Golden. I think I said Stay Golden once, but I kept calling it chai. So Stay Golden is kind of my go-to because you can see it has a little bit, but not too much. And especially on days like this where I really just want to have a little bit of color on my face, it is fantastic. And then Drift. So those two are absolutely my hands down go-to colors that I keep in my palette for a rainy day. Snowy day, whatever. Okay, so I will link everything that I use for you guys. I did this tutorial because I wanted you to see the buff brush. So this brush is going to be 40% off on the Boxing Day sale for Seint. Seint is having a huge sale on the day after Christmas. So stay tuned. It'll be until the 31st or while supplies last.